today. So we appreciate that. And you guys who've kindly come all the way to see us, thank you so much. So now we have Liz Allan on the couch and we have Sam Clarke, same name as me, Sam, but a little bit different. Sam Clarke, tell us a little bit about yourself, will you?
Okay, well thank you for the introduction, Sam. So my name's Sam Clarke, I'm Chief Vehicle Officer at GridServe, but more widely I've been an EV driver for 22 years now. I've run many EV-related businesses. So yeah, I guess I've been in the space a long time, and a few Guinness World Records and things like that along the way too. So
he's so humble, isn't he, folks? Honestly, I mean, this guy is such a trailblazer, and credit where credit's due. Okay, I think it's fair. I think we all need to give credit to even the likes of George and Kate and these people who are paving the way and are actually trailblazers. So give yourself some credit. So the reason you're here sitting on this couch is because you are doing amazing things. And, this is the kind of people we want to be hanging out with. Like Andrew's saying, people who are honest, spreading an honest message, community-focused, brand advocates. It all creates brand advocacy, as you know. So, don't be afraid to give yourself a pat on the back. And the fact that you look very nice on the camera helps a lot, right? Doesn't it, Liz? Yeah, it does, yeah. So... So Sam, tell us about, like you're a bit of a trailblazer, you're outstanding in your field, but, sustainability, was that always something you were interested in, or did it just grow as you got into the EV space?
It's definitely the latter, Sam. When I guess going back 20 plus years now, I saw the opportunity for EVs in China a long, long time ago, where EVs, particularly on two wheels, were prevalent everywhere. Already, they weren't the greatest things in the world, and they were disposable items almost on the corner of a supermarket in China. But there were thousands of EVs everywhere, and I saw the opportunity there as a commercial one, thinking, well, we've got to bring this sort of technology to the UK and to Europe. And so I found selfishly and honestly that my drive was around what commercial opportunity could EVs create for me and my business at the time. But 20 years later, I'm a little bit older now, and with kids and much larger responsibilities and a far more mature approach perhaps to the climate, and I'm very passionate about wanting to make a difference and hopefully help educate other people along that journey, and leave the planet in a better place than we found it, right? Because that's ultimately what this is all about. Because as is often quoted, we're the first generation to really recognise climate change and the last one to do anything about it. So for me, anything that I've learned in my experience, I'm very happy to try and share amongst others, because I think if that means that other people can make the switch to a more decarbonised world, then it's better for all of us.
So the reason both of you on the couch is because, passion. Your passion is driving you, and passion drives so many things, inventions, innovation, great business ideas. And, if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to do things like bring them in from China. Yeah, let's share this great idea. So Liz, for you, tell us a little bit about what you do and how you are so passionate about what you do.
So I am a business improvement consultant, but I've been married to a professor of climate science for 20 years. And he works for University of Reading, so climate change has been something that's been on our agenda for a very, very long time. And actually, I sort of realised that he's obviously the academic side, I'm the business side, and actually I recognised that I wanted to give back myself in order to do something alongside him. So he's worked on the IPCC report, and I just wanted to actually do something. So I started a podcast in December 2020 called Electric Evolution, and my aim was, we decided that we wanted to move to an electric vehicle, we wanted to get solar panels, we wanted to get battery storage, and I just thought, well, if I don't really know much about this, then it would be nice for me to learn and share it. So actually the podcast was born, and I interviewed lovely people like Sam. I interviewed George and Kate Tyrrell, who's here at the moment. And a number of different people, and it's just been such a wonderful journey. But actually coming together to, I want to make sure that everything that we've done at home, I've shared with kind of people on social media to make sure that everybody knows that EVs aren't difficult. take on. We've got a used Ioniq Electric, which we bought a Hyundai last year. That's worked really well. I use public charging. We've got a drive, so we've got a charger at home. These things work if you want, if you want them to. You just got to put a little bit of effort in. We've got battery storage and solar panels now, so we've kind of gone the whole, whole 9 yards. And actually, we've done it in a really short length of time. Yeah. But this journey is just still moving, and now what I'm looking at doing, what I'm doing is supporting charge point operators with the customer journey.
Excellent, well done. You see, it's like me when I was doing the LinkedIn audios, and that's how we actually connected. Was you jumped in, you were listening, and I was like, oh, she looks very interesting, so I connected with you. But I mean, the social media, the podcast, but even I knew nothing about electric cars until I started doing the LinkedIn audios. So I'm still learning, So Sam, tell me, I know you mentioned, we're getting a bit older and, there's kids and stuff in the picture and all now. But what do you think is important for helping people to switch to EV? Or the same question I said asked Andrew, what do you think needs to be done to encourage more people to switch to EV?
Well, I think for a start, the things that Liz and her better half, or worse half maybe, are doing in regards to I've known Liz a couple of years now, but the effort you put into trying to reach out to people like me and many others, and share that message is really important. I think that's one of the methodologies to do it. And then the things like the IPCC report put scientific fact into the equation. There's a lot of detail in those reports, and I can't even confess to have read them all myself, but some of the graphs are terrifying. So some of that information is really, really important. So I think there's an element of scientific approach that people need to really understand that the climate change is a serious, serious problem. Then we need to share that information through the work that Liz is doing, the work that we're doing here, and everything that we can do to try and spread that message. But also demonstrate the real world application of these technologies. Electric vehicles work. The range anxiety and charge anxiety have been phraseology that's been bandied around for years. Range anxiety is largely diminished now because the vehicles are going really long distances, and the charge anxiety is the next thing to crack. And the infrastructure is getting better by the day. There's been exponential growth in that department now over the last couple of years. So there's really not too much left for the naysayers and the Nigel Farages of this world to try and batter us with, because they're running out of car fires in airports that have got nothing to do with electric vehicles, or cars getting written off because of flooding, which turns out to be an electric gearbox, nothing to do with an electric car. It's getting harder for those that are a little bit pessimistic, or the laggards, to push back on what technology ultimately is working, and it's making a quantifiable effect and a material difference, and we've got to just keep doing that. So it's a long way of answering your question, Sam, but I guess as many bits of information as we can get out there, not sort of bashing people over the head with EVs, but just showing that it can be done, and that's all we can do, really.
Yeah, and even the fact that you guys all showed up here today is a huge testament to the community and the support that you give each other. So it's really nice, and we're very grateful for it. So Liz, finally, just going to go to you. Do you live in this area, actually? Yes, you didn't have too far to travel.
No, I only had 7 miles to go, and it took me nearly as long as it took George Thurman to get here.
Well, thank you so much. Is there anything, your podcast, right? Yes. So, if anyone was interested in being a guest on your podcast, can they just reach out to you on LinkedIn, or, so I think your podcast is going to help spread the message, like Sam was saying, Is there anything we can do to help you push that?
Well, actually, I've got to say, so Chris Hunter, who works with me in Full Circle, he was talking to somebody, as you do, down the pub last week, who actually had just moved to an EV. And Chris said, oh, so what made you move to electric? And he said, oh, I've been listening to some podcasts. Now, Chris didn't know this, but basically this chap, who he's known for ages, said, oh, I've been listening to some podcasts, and one's called Electric something. And he went, Evolution?
No.
And Chris went, I work with Liz. So actually, do you know what? All I want to do is just keep moving the needle a little bit. Yeah. And if I can get a few people to just decide to move to electric, or to become more sustainable, or to understand these things, then I've done the right thing, I've done the right job.
Well done, both of you. Thank you so much, Sam and Liz. Thank you so much for your support. And now we're going to get